Hey folks, how are you? How's everyone doing? Thank you for being patient. How's everyone on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube? Good to see you guys. There we go. Okay. If you guys could let me know that you can hear me and see me all right, that would be greatly appreciated. I want to make sure my audio and video is doing well. Dylan, welcome. Priscilla, Maraid, good to see you guys. Okay, good. Thank you so much. All right, so my audio is fine. My video is fine. You guys are welcome to start, if you haven't already done so, dropping your questions. So tonight is all spirit messages. This is all mediumship all the time. So the whole evening, this is channeling. And this can be your deceased loved ones, pets, angels, guides, ancestors, anyone you're looking to hear from. And you can ask any type of question of them. When you drop your $10 donation and your question, do include the first name of whoever it is, okay, that you want me to channel. And or you can just say something like their relationship to you, like my dad, my grandma, like that works as well. Saves me time, helps me give you a more in-depth message and move on to your neighbor faster. If you guys prefer to do this privately, you can go onto my website, Ivy Rivera, psychicmedium.com. I do work internationally. It's a super simple self-booking system. 99.9% of what I do is over the phone. But if the calendar doesn't work for you, especially if you're like in the Middle East, it's a little tight. You could do a video reading. And if you prefer in person, there is a phone number on the website. So you could just call and one of my assistants will get you set up with an in-person reading. A couple quick announcements while we let everyone tune in. The Margin Manor Psychic Fair. Okay, Ivy League Psychic Fair at Margin Manor Winery is June 28th. I will be there with several of my certified readers from the Ivy League Psychic Academy. You can get your pre-booking in now, up to 3 readings, or you could try your hand at a walk-in. All right, we also have coming up, how about the class? Okay, self-development and light work. So registration is now open for my brand new class. This is about being ready for the call. So if you feel like you have a call on your life to do tarot, psychic mediumship, Reiki, any type of healing work at all, you may want to take this class. A lot of people get into light work and healing and they find that while they thought they had a calling, and they thought they were going to have a huge ministry or client base, it tends to fluctuate significantly with large dry spells, and they really don't understand why. In this class, I break down the 4 reasons why, and I help you solve that problem. We also have the spring and summer parties are booking up ridiculously fast. People are back in the festive mood. I mean, it's been years since COVID, it was like parties really slowed down. There's been actually a lot of like research on this and how it hasn't been good for people. People aren't gathering anymore. And I saw that change, but something is shifting and people are definitely coming into community more. Anyways, go off on a tangent about it. If you want to book me for your spring or summer party, get it booked now because stuff is getting grabbed up real fast, especially Fridays, Saturdays. This is a gallery show. Okay, so I do corporate events, I do business, weddings, whatever it is that you're looking for, smaller family parties. The most preferred option is 1 hour of gallery where I read the entire audience with private readings afterward. And if you need an entire psychic fair, I also bring in, Ivy League psychic fairs. So get that booked. If you want to check out, where are we? The 1882 Victorian Funeral Home, originally the Francis Rhodes House. This is now the headquarters for the Ivy League Psychic Academy. So the 1882 Victorian Funeral Home here is also on the Haunted History Trail of New York State. You can sleep here with up to 25 of your friends. You can book your ghost hunt, or if you're not into any of that, but you love the architecture, you love the history, we are on the historical trail of Chautauqua County, and you can book a historical tour as well. So check out the house. So this was a funeral home for over 55 years. So there would have been a casket back there where that small red couch is, right there under the mirror. There would have been a casket, and then this would have all been seating. Super creepy. Never a dull moment. Verified. Haunted History Trail verified. Okay, so this is what I call living room number 1, and we will probably be set up here for another week or so. I actually like this spot a lot. But I'm doing a tour around the world tour of the house that you guys had requested. Do we have anything else we really want to announce? I kind of just want to get into everything today. Again, if you guys are just tuning in now, drop your $10 donation and your question if there is a specific spirit that you would like to hear from, or you can just leave it open-ended, okay, and say, like, I don't know, whatever spirit has to say to me. I do want to give a quick shout out to my YouTube members: Demetris, Language Through Connection, Kate S., Melissa S., Sarah Sotelo, Joelle Porter, June Hawthorne, Deb Basil, Anna, Annie D., Yolanda Fisher, Chaley, Angie Johnson, Jennifer Cole, Jennifer Barone, Vanessa, Andrea M., Me Love, 716, Tristan Marion, Maraid D., Deanna Marie, Abby Hicks, Stella Marie, Kim Elizabeth, Denise Bennett, Jayla Beans, Edgar Velardes, Christine W., Miami Heat 305-ish, and Shauna Dempsey. You guys, I love you. I appreciate your continued support. My members and I have a great time. So if you would like to become one, you go onto YouTube at Ask Ivy the Medium. Again, that's YouTube at Ask Ivy the Medium. You hit the join button. It'll show you the 3 different tiers of membership options. My members get like a monthly mini class, an Ask Ivy exclusive show, a personal email reading, which pays for the entire subscription itself, a monthly horoscope, a weekly spirit message, and we have a ton of fun. Okay, some other stuff. All right, we pretty good? Okay. Do I have a pen? Do I have a working pen? That's the question. All right, I'm feeling spirit. I'm feeling spirit. I'm feeling spirit. Where are we going? Welcome, everyone. I'm Ivy Rivera. I'm a psychic medium, a Taino Airwalk. This is All Spirit Messages, where I channel the entire evening. So if you want to hear from a deceased loved one, pet, your ancestors, guides, angels, anything goes, drop your $10 donation and your question, including the first name of the person you want to hear from, or their title. Like, I want to hear from my dad. I want to hear from my grandma. Okay, whatever it is. And you can also leave it open-ended, which a lot of people prefer to do on this show, but every week is different. So you can just say whatever spirit has for me. Okay, and I'll channel whatever is coming through. Who do we have first? Thank you so much for being here, guys. Please hit that thumbs up button. Okay, subscribe, drop a comment of any kind. It helps me out in the algorithm, and let me know where you're tuning in from. Please do share this video. I'm sure there's someone who follows you on your social media who could really use this tonight. Thank you so much for the hearts on TikTok. Anna Pekka said general reading. Okay, Anna Pekka, general. Okay. What's coming through for Anna? Who's coming through for Anna? Gentleman, tall gentleman, 6'2", wide through here. A little bit like a leaner guy. Always wore the same shoes. Always kept those leather shoes, my brown leather shoes, my jeans or whatever I was wearing. I always had myself looking, pretty nice, pretty tidy. He knew how to not waste money, but he had money. He had money. He didn't like to look like he had money, and he didn't like to act like he had money. He's talking about keeping an eye on you, making sure, A, you're taking care of your dental stuff. So if you've been grinding your teeth, he's talking about work through your stress. So you're not grinding your teeth. I also, and I can't prescribe or diagnose, But if you just came from the dentist or you just had any of this checked out, okay, he's keeping an eye on that. This can also mean, because he's talking about right in the front of your teeth, don't bite off more than you can chew right now. Now, I think this is the highest likelihood, although all those messages could apply, okay? Multiple symbology behind one thing, multiple messages behind one symbol, rather. But it's like he's talking about not stretching yourself too thin, not enabling yourself to be a little bit chaotic in the way that you may give your attention and energy to too many people and situations, not being disciplined enough, to say, this is what I want to have in my future. This is fulfilling for me. This is what I want my day-to-day lifestyle to look like. This is what I want my resources to be, and this is what I'm going to focus on. And anything and anyone that isn't that or isn't leading me toward that is not going to get my time, attention, affection, energy, right? Mentality, even. Like, you seem to be getting more aware. Now, he's talking about for the next 3 days, but it's like he's going to be helping you with this process, and he's encouraging you to be more aware of where exactly you allow yourself to be pulled and where you give your attention. Are you like a feather on the wind? If the wind blows this way, you go that way. If this person pops up, you go over here and give them. If this is my brain is over here on this thing. Or are you steering your ship? Are you the captain, right? Do you something your sails? I don't know, manage your sails? I don't know if he sailed. It's like a sailboat. It's like, are you managing your own sails? Obviously, he has an opinion on this. So I'm gathering that his opinion is no. Okay. But he's going to let you read into that how you want. Okay. It's not about, he said, it's not about me. It's not about me. Okay. It's about you, and it's about your happiness, and it's about your fulfillment, and it's about setting goals, and it's about achieving those goals. Okay. In a reasonable amount of time, because you seem to have a lot that you want in the next 2 years. And it's like tangible, but you don't seem to know that like the gun went off and we're already moving toward it. So we don't have time to be wasting on piddly things, nonsense, nonsensicals. Okay. He was a real, he was a sophisticated guy, and he definitely, see almost like a polo collar, and then sometimes just t-shirts, but he's like, thank you. He's a sophisticated guy, but he's very ordinary in the way that when he figured out a system, he adopted a formula. He was going to hold to that formula, whether it was the way he dressed, the way he did his hair, how often he went to the dentist, how he handled his money, who he worked with. Okay. Everything needs to be a formula. And right now it's like you're figuring out a lot of foundational pieces. Figure them out and go forward. We want to achieve these goals by the second year out. Okay. He loves you very much. Also giving a red rose, which is a birthday or anniversary right around this time. This can also be a passing anniversary or just a deep love. An Aaron or something. Who is Aaron? Or is this an E or an R? Somebody else coming up. I think you're going to have a couple different people popping in the next week or so with you. Grandmother? It feels like in a dream, possibly giving you some direction on a relationship and some other things. Okay. So you got more people here. All right. Thank you. And thank you, Grandpa. Thank you, Anna. All right. We're going to move on. Moving on. Clear it out. General reading C. JG, general for CJG. Who's here for CJG? Your guides. Who is that? Your joy guide who watches over your mental and emotional well-being and your spiritual development and your relationship guide. You've also got your money guide coming in pretty close. These two are working in cahoots, and then you've got your money guide coming in, talking about some work change and stuff right behind. So I actually feel like I'm going to be talking to them briefly. And then going over here to him. It seems like your mental and emotional well-being has been a little bit, your joy guide says down the toilet. That's not good. It almost feels like you're feeling like a vacuum. You're feeling like you're getting sucked in to negative cyclical patterns of thought or some rejection in your mentality where it's almost like you have fear of failure or fear of rejection. You may be feeling as though you are in a way, and I think you need to examine this, rejecting yourself and putting yourself down, not giving yourself enough credit or not being confident enough. Now, confidence is not something that just, pops out of the box that way, right? It's not like, well, it's a feeling. It's not a feeling. It's a decision. It's not a feeling. It may turn into a feeling, which is great, but if a lot of people who have decided to be confident are uncomfortable even with that feeling. It's not a feeling. You need to decide 100% that you are backing yourself, that you are confident in yourself, you are confident in your abilities, and that you are going places. You are in a period right now. So what your joy guide wants you to understand, joy guide watches over your spiritual development, your mental and emotional well-being. Okay. Now, your joy guide wants you to understand that you're in a period right now of manifesting things that you asked for. Your relationship guide coming in with your joy guide is pointing out how you asked for it. So you wanted to be in better company. You wanted to be more highly recognized. You wanted to be more well received. You wanted to be on a platform or appreciated in such a way where people could see you as almost like a brand. They would know your character, your integrity, maybe your education, your skill set, like what you are useful for, how you are a solid person. And they would call on you. They would want to contract with you. They would want to partner with you, right? It would bring in more opportunities. This is what you wanted. So for you to go, now here comes your work and money guide. For you to go from where you were to where you want to be, we got a little leapfrog going on here. You're going to have to do some level jumping. And they're more than happy to encourage you and help you with that. But you can't be like, no, I can't jump, or my frog legs don't work, or I don't want to get wet, or what if I jump and I miss the lily pad? There's no time for any of that. There's no room for any of that. The universe has everything lined up for you. You manifested change. It's here. If we want to get from point A to point B, you've got to be willing to move. And kind of right now, it feels a little bit like roll with the punches. Okay. So I validate, of course, anything you're feeling and thinking, but that stuff is pretty useless in the larger scheme of things. Remember, okay, and this is again coming from your work and money guide, remember that intuitive intelligence trumps emotional intelligence and logic. Always, will always. Okay, so they are lesser than. You're giving way too much time and attention to those two. Okay, focus on your gut, keep going, and know that you have some doors opening here. Feels like two of the same, one of different. So we've got some change and transition coming in here, I would say in the next 3 weeks. So lots to look forward to, but it does feel like you need a little bit of a refocus and possibly an attitude adjustment. And that can't come from like, well, I'm feeling how I'm feeling. Well, don't let your feelings rule you. Emotional intelligence is the bottom of the barrel. Okay. Think of how many times in your life your emotions steered you wrong. They're fine when it comes to things like fear and it's saving you from something catastrophic. Okay. But we don't want to let our emotions run our mentality and our decisions, and certainly not dictate our energy level. Okay. So you're going to be hearing more from your guides, especially in the next 5 weeks. Thank you, CJG. We're going to move on to another one. Who do we have coming in next? I feel like my side roll is hanging out here. I feel like I got a big old muffin top action. I don't think I do. Somebody let me know if I do. That'll be a wasted video because I won't let it publish. All right. Manny says, hi, Ivy. What messages are there for me within the next 6 months for me to look forward to? Looking forward to? Okay, hey Manny. You have a lady coming in here who feels short, a little she didn't mind being called short, and a little plump. Um, she's petite, but she's very fiery. Um, she's like a firehouse. She's like very opinionated, and I feel dark hair, and she may have let it go quite gray. Um, she looks a little native to me. It's almost like I'm gonna put it in a bun back here, and it's gray. Um, yeah, a lot of determined action toward you. She's been taking to almost like shake you up and wake you up and kind of remind you of where you are and who you are and what you're here to do. You have a lot to do. Your journey is nowhere near done. There's more work to do. There's more play that you need to have. There's more social interaction. And there are more, I guess I would categorize this as like group dynamics. Maybe you talking, teaching, leading, training, mentoring. I'm not saying, these are apprentices per se, but it does seem like there are a lot of people who want to learn from you and need to learn from you. These aren't just family members. These also seem to be like younger males in general. So it feels like you've got more of that coming in. Now that builds for 5 years, but you were asking about the next 6 months. And it feels like in the next 6 months, you've got some different things unfolding here that would line you up for that sort of new lifestyle for yourself. There could be some stuff going on with residency. Also, there's a gentleman coming in here, paternal or poppy or papa or something. It's like Red Rose, which is a birthday or anniversary right around this time, can also be a passing anniversary, or just a deep love. Take it out, resonates. Talking about what feels like real estate and learning the lay of the land. Learning the lay of the land with any changes or upgrades you've been looking to make with ownership, residency, okay, anything like this. There's travel. So that's the biggest one. I don't know how I held that in for so long. I don't know why I held that in for so long. The very first thing I saw with you was travel, a trip, travel. There is a lady coming in with this that it also feels like grandmother energy, but she's a little bit more reserved, than the other one. I don't know if I want to say more reserved exactly. It's almost like she had a very different way of living. There's a sense of sophistication here, and she may have had more like education as well. But there's talk of you, I want to say this. It's almost like it's important for you to be traveling in the next 6 to 7 months, whether these are small trips, little excursions, adventures, full on travel, like I'm getting on a plane and I'm going for a week or two, it feels like you've got bibs and bobs here. It's little pieces, tidbits of this and that. And it really seems to fill your whole calendar after the 3-month mark out from now. And she's really going to be with you during that time. Okay. And it's exciting. Okay. So it's like feeding your soul. Make sure you're taking these trips. Also, any upgrades you need to make to your vehicle, make sure you're making them. So you may be like getting something new or doing something new with the vehicle that you feel excited about. You may be on a new health routine as well. I don't know if you're trying to eat berries every day, but they're certainly encouraging that. And I want to go back to him. We do have, I want to say, what feels like paternal energy, giving a white rose, which can mean that during his like passing, you didn't get a proper goodbye or there was a lack of closure. Okay. So he gives the white rose and is pulling the thorns off of that. Okay. So if you lost paternal gentleman here who, again, may not have been able to speak at the time of his passing. I'm like mentally there, but I can't get my words out of my mouth. Okay. It can lead to that feeling of like not having a sense of closure. All right. So a lot of love to you. Lots of good things coming up. Fun. Your 6 months is packed. Even out to the 7th month is just packed. All right. We're going to move on to another one. Who do we have coming in next? Nigeria love, general reading. Nigeria love. General reading for Nigeria love. Nigeria love. Who's here for Nigeria? You have a gentleman coming in here who's like wider in through the chest, his really big hands, had like a booming voice, but was a gentle character. So it's like I'm not always hearing him. And he wasn't really a yeller. He may have, because he had a booming voice, seem loud. I could definitely see how children could be like, not this guy, but for the most part, I mean, it's almost like a radio voice. I would say that people who have that type of presence, I call it the power of voice vibration. People who have that type of presence really should be in like show business, radio, what we're doing here, podcasting, right? Broadcasting, whatever, journalism. I don't think he did though, but I do think he ran a lot of things. He comes through here talking about you and your power of voice vibration, your ability to be seen and heard, your ability to either show up, bring your energy, or open your mouth and manipulate the public. Now, this shows up if you have a good Vedic or Western astrologer, this will show up as like a planet or a star. I don't know what they call it, but in my life contract readings, I just see it as like your point of power, for example. So when you have the power of voice vibration, people have to listen to you. He's reminding you of who you are. People are forced to listen to you. They don't have to agree with you, but they can't not hear you. They can't escape you. This means that employers will always put you in a position where you're like the face of the company, or you're training other people, or you're in the spotlight, whatever it is. You may want to be behind the scenes, but you never get to stay behind the scenes. So the power of voice vibration is an ability essentially to hypnotize the masses. And when used in a higher vibration, it is you influencing others for the greater good. Okay, you're going to want to pay more attention to this. He's talking about the next 3 years. This is where everything is headed for you. You being seen more, you being heard more, you recognizing how you're seen and that you have the power of voice vibration. Thank you for the hearts on TikTok. When you understand that you have this ability, you also would understand that it's been shut down from birth. So you also have your point of attack in your PowerPoint. So if you have the power through your voice, your body language, your presentation, what have you, people who have this also tend to be very good looking. So they have like a two-parter. Do you hear that? And it's like you would also, have this point of attack. It's the same for everyone. Wherever your power position is also your point of attack. So you may have been shut down since you were little, quieted, your self-esteem may have been rattled. Maybe you just feel like you don't have anything to say, or you feel like it's been hard to be heard. You struggle to be heard, right? People shut you down. People could also be highly competitive with you. They could see you as a threat. Whatever it is, that's not your problem. You have to overcome it as you go forward. Okay, so this is where your moneymaker is. This is what it's all about, especially for the next 2 years. Very intensely. Know how you're seen. Know that you will be heard and seen no matter what, so use it to your advantage. Don't shy away from it. He also says you've been lonely. So if you've been feeling a little bit like, he just keeps showing your heart and bringing in some healing there. You have a grandmother who steps in as well, and like an aunt who may have had a cancerous condition or smoked. But, they're bringing healing to your heart, and, you're never alone. Even if you look around, you're like, I don't know. My relationships just don't feel very maybe mutually beneficial. I was going to say, you feel like you've outgrown some people. It's not a crime. They say, okay, it's not, it's okay. It's okay. Okay. And thank you for the hearts on TikTok. And you can admit to it. And you could be like, okay, maybe I'm in a transitional phase with my relationships, but no, spirit is always with you. Okay. You're never alone. Don't let it make you, depressed or low level energy. And I can't prescribe or diagnose. Also, an R sound. Is this a Richard or an R? Strong R sound in a gentleman's name coming in here as well with you. Thank you. Go out and celebrate something for yourself, okay? Go out and like you've done so much and you're getting a little tired and burnt out. It's just a sign you need to go like buy a nice handbag or go to the spa or something, okay? Okay. Let's move on to another one. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Vanessa Dempsey, General. So many generals tonight. What is going on? Okay. Like more than usual. Vanessa Dempsey, who's here for Vanessa Dempsey, general reading for Vanessa. Something, grasshopper. Is she the grasshopper? Okay. Try to be more patient around this time. You seem to be like, let's go, 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 you know, and I love it. I think that's fabulous. That's great for you. I think that's fun. Okay. I also think it can be a little too type A. Okay. You're coming through as the triangle. The triangle personality is like, get this done. You know, sometimes when you push too hard, you just end up feeling like nothing was accomplished. I'm going to go cry. I want to get in the fetal position and like eat a thing of Oreos and, you know, quit. And it's like, okay, had we not maybe pushed so hard, we could have A, been more productive, and B, felt more energetic and productive. Okay. So it's like, don't drive yourself into the ground. Don't push so hard with even the world around you to get things done in the right timeline, to get them done exactly the way you want them done, right? And to get them done yesterday. It's like you're going through a period of change. And this is coming from, I just want to say, I have your loved ones, I have your ancestors, and I have your guides. Okay. So like kind of a collective message for you. Although you do have a grandmother who's giving a red rose. Again, birthday or anniversary right around this time can also be a passing anniversary or deep love. And she said, you're graduating. You're graduating. You're getting your wings. Okay. It's like your butterfly wings. So you're moving from caterpillar phase where you went through some tough lessons the last 5 to 7 years, 2 in particular, and you're coming out with your wings, which is prosperity, freedom, mobility. Okay. Also sociability for you. And it's cute. It's like a little barfly with like high heels, like red stilettos. It's ridiculous. It's like a monarch with red stilettos on. And that's about power in the workplace. That's about power out in the world. And that's about money. Okay. Money, resources, negotiations, contracts, everything working in your favor. The red shoes. Red lips as well, red lipstick, putting red lipstick on this butterfly. So it's like, I will be heard. I will control things, right? But what they're talking about here ultimately as a whole is that you are leaving behind what wasn't working for you, what was draining, who was draining you, right? All these connections and entrapments and investments as you had been thinking of them that were kind of keeping you stuck, because that's what we do with investments. We say, well, I invested for so long. I'm not leaving this behind. I'm not leaving that person behind. I can't back out of this, you know, and it may have felt irresponsible or you may have felt fearful about making some changes, but you are. This is the evolution of you. And essentially right now you're moving up and out. This is a 2-year journey. Take it slow. Okay. You've been through the worst of it. You've already done the hard part. It's okay to remember that you're not God. Remember that you can only control what you can control. Do your best with that stuff. Thank you for the hearts. Do your best and let it go. Okay. I'm going to bring my A game. I'm going to hold myself accountable. I'm going to take responsibility and let go, let God, let go, let the universe. You do 50%. The universe does 50%. They don't want you pushing so hard mentally, because every time you push on something or with someone or for a situation, or you feel like it wasn't enough or the way things worked out today wasn't enough, you're really beating yourself up is what you're doing, because it's not for you to do all these things. Okay. Also, one final message coming from a gentleman here who was probably like 5'9", kind of stocky. Always wore jeans, tucked his t-shirt in. Is this a D, Dennis, or I'm hearing a D sound in someone's name. I'm not good with names. I don't know, a D sound. But anyways, I don't want to overconnect that to this guy just in case. But he wants you to know that you also have, how do you want me to say that? It's almost like you're processing some karma. You're processing some karma. Expect things from the past to come back around in a set of 3. Everything happens in a set of 3. He was a very superstitious guy. But it's like everything happens in sets of 3. Everything in sets of 3. Expect some blasts from your past to be coming back around. This could also be exes. And it's like, she doesn't live here anymore. You know, I don't know who you're calling, but she's gone. What is that? What is that meme that's going around? What is that video that's going around on TikTok? Thank you for the hearts on TikTok. It's like, Christina. She's like, Christina doesn't live here anymore. Christina's gone. Christina? She here? I don't know. Okay. You're gone. Stay gone. All right. Keep that door shut. Thank you so much. We're going to move on to another one. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Next up is Maraid. Maraid 1024 says, hi, Ivy. I heard from Nate today. I told you. And he reached out to ask me to hang out tonight. Okay. Did Nat talk about me to Nate? What is going on with this? I can't get over it. It's like, did Nat, without an E, talk about me to Nate and encourage him to reach out? Let's see. What does Spirit have to say about this? I mean, he's like pushing an elephant up a freaking mountain. What the hell goes on with this kid? You know, life, it doesn't have to be that hard. I don't know why it's like push and get him to go. And then he goes and then he stops. And it's like, if someone's not always pushing, and here's what I don't want you to do. I don't want you to be the one who's always pulling or overreaching. You know what I'm saying? Like, can he maintain it? Yeah, I do think Nat said something. I think his own brain said something. I think you energetically said something. I think the universe said something. I think Spirit said something. I think everybody said something, because we got to let a fire under his ass to get him to move a freaking inch. Okay. And then it's like, what is it going to be, another 2 years before he moves another inch? What the hell? I don't know why some people are like this. Okay. It drives me up a wall. Because I can only reduce it down to laziness. And something about it rubs me the wrong way. It's like, you've got this life and you have this connection to only so many people. And if you don't use it, you're gonna lose it. And you're gonna just have to do it all over again, you know, in reincarnation or whatever. And he just doesn't seem to take things very seriously with that. I think he is fearful, and he is also battling some low self-esteem, none of that being your problem. Okay. And keep it that way. But I think you're very curious, you know. I told you. I think you're very curious, and I think it's definitely going to be a situation where if he's not constantly pushed, you know, you should expect for a start-stop with him. So you can entertain it if you want, but you stay right there. Know where your boundary line is. Okay. Pigs will fly before you overreach. All right. He's going to have to push himself. But yes, Nat said something. There were a million things coming at him. It's amazing. It takes more energy. He's very stubborn. He may have Taurus in his chart somewhere, like significant placement. It takes more energy to stop these desires than it does to just roll with it. Have fun. All right, keep me posted. Have fun. All right, we're going to move on. Your grandfather's keeping an eye, by the way. Watch his words, your grandfather says. Like, watch his words. Not like he's going to say something nasty to you. I don't think so, actually. He seems like a nice boy. But I think watch his words and the way that he talks about life and the way he thinks and the way he perceives things. Watch his words, because you're going to find out everything you've been wanting to know. Like, hold back, pull back, let him talk. Watch this. Okay, your grandpa says. All right, thank you. We're going to move on. Who is next? Kayleen Barté. I freaking love your name, Kayleen. I remember you. The French girl, right? Kayleen Barté. From TikTok said, just anything new about love, any new or good, I guess, or general one. Okay, so let's go over here with who is here for Kaylee. Is it Kaylee? Am I saying that right? In love, you guys have any? Okay. So you have two ladies coming through. They both feel like grandmothers to me, but I do feel like I'm going with a first generation and a great is how I'm reading that. Okay. If your first generations are still here, go with a great on one side and a great on the other. But I'm reading this as, okay. And with these shows, I don't have a lot of time, okay, to decipher those things. So I just kind of roll with it. Take it out, resonates. Two grandmas. It feels like they have someone in line for you. Okay. It feels like very nice, well educated, maybe well received. What does that mean? He's well received. Yeah. You know, he may be involved in groups and do well in work and career and have people who would recommend him. You know, it's almost like professors will still recommend me, and my old boss still recommends me, and people from my neighborhood recommend me, and, you know, maybe like people who knew my family would like people like him. There's definitely a sense of recognition. When this person goes out into the world, they're recognized, and they're not just recognized for like what they do. They're recognized for who they are. And that is a whole different thing. That is king on the throne with the sword at his side energy. He's seen as a brand. So he's recognized for his character, his integrity. Now, I think people give that to him before he even earns it. So I don't know if he just has a horseshoe up his ass or what goes on here with this guy. But like, it's like, how'd you get that? You know, because like they don't know you that way, or they don't know you yet. How'd you get that? He level jumps, right? He's able to level jump. He may have Capricorn, strong Sagittarius in his chart somewhere, and maybe some Gemini. Okay. So he's able to navigate. It's like if this were a game of chess, it's like I can move here, here, here. What piece is that does that? I don't know, the pawn and then the higher up pieces, whatever it is. But it's like it keeps him on offense. So what happens in his life is that he's constantly able to like accomplish things, build new things, expand, and he's alive. You know, he's really very willing to go with the flow, to take calculated risks. I don't think he's great with crazy risks. And I think that says a lot, because I think you've been wanting someone like this who's like level-headed. Okay. And again, that could be that Capricorn energy, but he focuses a lot on money and work and relationships and isn't looking for the spotlight, but does tend to hoard it and get it. There could also be a little Leo going on in here. I think that this person just wants love and a little adoration that doesn't come with drainage. So he would like to have someone either in a relationship, or even if it's just dating, he's okay with that, even if it's more casual, but who makes him feel good about who he is. He feels like he deserves it. And I wonder if you think it's like your brain's just connected. You ever see those twins that are born with their heads connected? Um, it's like, boop, huh. I do wonder if you have past life connection and there was also like a sibling relationship here at one point, which can get a little gross and weird, but we don't have to worry about that. You know, don't be surprised if you have like weird flashbacks when you're with this person or, Anyways, it seems like you're both wanting to be seen, you know, by a lover who appreciates who you are and what you do and what you've accomplished, but not to have access to your energy, not to drain you, not to have access to like what you're building or creating or your wealth, your connections, but because they like you as a person. This feels very safe. It feels mutual. It feels nice. And it feels fun. You know, it feels fun. Don't be surprised if this person gets a little nervous though when they realize like that they have feelings for you and it's like, you know, are they going to get weird? Are they going to ghost? Is this going to be the end? It could be. We'll see. It depends. That's free will. Well, it depends on how, you know, how he plays his hand and handles it. A lot of people don't handle intimacy well. But I mean, we'll see. I get lighter hair, green eyes, or like blue, or they're changing depending on the outfit. Okay. And like a bigger nose. Very sweet. All right. Interesting. 6 months. 6 months. Thank you, Kaylee. We're going to move on to another one. Thank you, grandmas. Thank you. Who's next? If you guys are tuning in late, thing is choking me tonight. I'm just like so irritated tonight. I don't know. I was like, I can't get comfortable my own skin today. I have OCD, literally. If you guys are tuning in late, please give this video a thumbs up, drop a comment of any kind. And if you could, in particular, okay, drop a comment letting me know where you're tuning in from. I'm always super curious about that. And we are doing unlimited. I can't do that all the time, but I can tonight. Okay. So you can get as many readings as you want. Do include the first name of whatever spirit it is that you're referring to or their title. Okay. So you could say like, I want to hear from my grandmother, whatever it is. And if you want to leave it open-ended, you can also do that and just say like general message, whatever's coming through. Okay, please do share this video. I'm sure there's someone who watches you on social media who could definitely use this tonight. And if you want to book privately, go onto my website, Ivy Rivera, psychicmedium.com. I work internationally. Thank you. All right, let's move on. Who do we have? Tuning in from upstate New York. Oh, yeah. Cheyenne X23. We're in upstate New York. That's where I am. Interesting. I was in Queens, and then I was in Buffalo, then I was in Grand Island. Now I'm in Dunkirk. Okay, fun. Let me know. CJG121 said, thank you, Ivy. Sorry, I joined a little bit late. Nope, you're good. Good to see you, CJG. Thank you for being here. Next up is Vanessa3045. She said, thank you so much. Ivy, you're welcome. Vanessa. Fulton. Interesting. I'm not sure where that is. I've heard of it. I'll have to look at a map. Things get weird in upstate New York. Like I'm in no man's land. I mean, like there's just little towns everywhere. Like never anyone's heard of it. All right. Shauna Dempsey. General message for Shauna Dempsey. Who's here for Shauna? You have a set of grandparents here, and I don't think they got along very well. It's just, unless she is just very like, don't touch my stuff, get out of my kitchen, I don't want to hear you. You know, she's very in charge, and he is very set in his ways. And so he may have been a little bit more quiet, and it's like, fine. I almost feel like we pulled it off, but we really were very different creatures, you know, separate, almost like separate lives, but together. I actually think this works. Anyways, they come in here with you, keeping an eye on you, both of them very similar in the way they're kind of stoic and upright and reserved, analytical. They did work good as a team because when they had to put their minds together and they had to navigate something, it was like, this is what I'm thinking. And they would go with their gut and their logic, gut and logic, never emotion, gut and logic. So intuitive intelligence and logic. And they would always have the same opinion about stuff, not only how to do things, but when to do things. So divine timing. So, what they're talking about here with you is you needing to understand that there's a time to be with others and there's a time to be not alone, maybe in the sense of lonely, okay, or isolated, but there's a time to be with others and there's a time to be on your own. And you are in a 3-month period, the next 2 months intensely, and this really just began in the last 24 to 48 hours. So if you turned into feeling like a little bit of a bee in the last 24 to 48 hours, like I'm irritated, I'm agitated, everyone's, bothering me. I don't even want to go outside. Like I don't know what's wrong with me, moody, maybe, whatever. That's always a sign that it's time for a break. It's time for personal space. But this is a transition that'll go on with you for the next intensely 2 months, 3 months total, where you need to understand that the people in your life, great as they are, and they have their place, this isn't a time for you to be pouring into others. This isn't a time for you to be overly invested in what other people are going through. And you may have like friends going through relationship changes and family members or siblings or whatever, like drama here and drama there and work. And I'm moving and I think we're pregnant. And it's like, I don't care. It's like, I love you, but I can't right now. It's like, I need to just be here in my energy right now. So be careful. It's almost like a vacuum, you're not getting sucked in to other people's stuff. And that doesn't have to be verbally. That could just be mentally. Okay. Like you're just thinking about them all the time, or your brain is going toward other people's stuff. Leave them out there. Okay. Metacognition, being aware of your thoughts, being aware of your mind and controlling it from behind the scenes. This idea of you between the 2nd and the 3rd month out from now, being able to navigate things in your life more productively, faster, right, more efficiently, including your resources, or I almost want to say especially your resources, your money, your time, your investments, these may all be paying out for you in a bigger, I see they call it pennies from heaven, but it looks like gold coins to me. And that can just be like a bit of a windfall of opportunities, literal cash. Okay. Potential like partnership opportunities coming in here as well. I see you transitioning from a space in your life right now where you're feeling a little burnt out, or like I'm running myself ragged and I'm not sure what the point is of everything right now, because it isn't feeling very fulfilling, to regaining control and power and feeling like a queen and being very much in manifestation energy at the end of the 3 months. Okay. To master this, it's going to require some solitude. That's it. And they're going to be helping you with that. Also, I was going deaf in the left, which is your mediumship increasing. And this is mostly from her side of the bloodline. But if you get the weird tinnitus, the grandmothers used to say left for love and right for spite. And that was fairly accurate, right? Thank you for the hearts on TikTok. So when the left ear is ringing, it's mediumship. When the right ear is ringing, it's not spite necessarily, it's psychic ability. Could be a warning, but it's just psychic ability. I have your mediumship increasing and becoming like off the charts. Like it was ringing. It didn't hurt, but it was pretty loud when I started this reading for you. So you're probably already feeling it. And I think, within the matter of the next 2 to 3 weeks, you should probably figure out what you're going to do about it, what you're going to do with it. Okay. But it's her bloodline. Yeah. So she'll be helping you with that as well. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Grandma, Grandpa. Thank you, Shauna. We're going to move on. Who do we have next? Deanna Marie is next. Deanna Marie said, what is the most important thing I need to focus on for the next part of my spiritual growth? Well, that's weird. I just kind of rolled from that into this. That's interesting. Deanna, who's here for Deanna? Your guardian angel and your joy guide? Your protector guide? Ugh. So, a couple different things that you need to work on, okay, going forward with your spiritual development. Protect yourself, use greater discernment. We often feel that passing judgment on people, especially if you're a woman, okay, we were taught never, ever to pass judgment. That makes us easy prey. We were trained to believe that we shouldn't pass judgment on people, and we should believe the best in others, and we should hold space. All that's bullshit. All of that's bullshit. All of it. The real nature of humans, in my opinion, is toxic, fear-based, and low level. Through determination and constant mindfulness and evaluation, they can elevate. But if you look around the world and you see that people typically don't want to do that work, they stay low level. Okay? So your opinion on humans should be, right? Shake off capitalism and the patriarchy and colonization, shake all that crap off and realize that people need to earn it. So if you feel that someone's vibe around you is off, we don't wait for proof. We don't require proof. We don't negate our intuition. We don't become double-minded about it. We simply go, their energy is low. Period, point blank. That's all I need to know. Their energy is low vibrational. So I don't care what they say. I don't care how they look. I don't even care what they do. They are now only, in my book, low-level energy, and I categorize them into an unsafe place, and I won't be interacting with them any more than I absolutely have to, okay? And if I can avoid it altogether, I'm going to. And that's discernment. You need to get sharper with this. You are still holding on, and it is holding you back in your spiritual development. You're still holding on to systemic brainwashing that benefits predators. And you were taught that it's moral. So there's more deprogramming that you need to go through. Okay? Because the spirit world and your like mediumistic abilities, you know, your psychic abilities, manifestation power, law of attraction, right? All universal law, these things don't care about how you were raised, what country you were raised in, you know, what time, they don't care. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. If you're going to continuously tap in, you're going to have to tune out. And if you're going to continuously level up, you're going to have to prove not just that you know something or you can speak on it, but that when you're tested, you walk it out. And where boundaries need to be set, and this is the big thing for you, you hold the line unapologetically. So things are going to be there for a while, okay? And if you can do this, you're going to find that you're growing leaps and bounds, okay? You're sort of like a flower in full bloom in the next, I would even say 2 months. So be judgy, okay, by all means. But they're very proud of you. I feel like you've been doing a lot of work. Beautiful, really beautiful. Your skills are ridiculously good. Your psychic stuff is like off the charts, you know? But even that, and I know I teach you guys that like you own your psychic ability. It's not like mediumship. It doesn't require any, even that can get blocked 100% because that's your third eye. That's your clairvoyance. That's your, that's your higher mind. Like it can get blocked if you don't get things like this out of the way. Anything can get blocked. If we're stagnant in some areas and refusing, to evolve because it's uncomfortable. All right. Thank you. Was that Deanna? I believe I was just, yes. Thank you, Deanna. We're going to move on to another one. This is for Tiffany from TikTok. So this is Tiffany on TikTok. Okay. General reading for Tiffany. Tiffany, general reading. Who's coming through for Tiffany? My jaw's popping with you. And I want to say I have a grandfather who may have had, I can't prescribe a diagnosis, may have had a cancerous condition or definitely had a systemic issue. I feel almost like things are rotting in my organs and stuff like before my passing. Like it's actually getting quite bad. Okay. And he was like, I'm ready to go because this guy was a real go-getter. He didn't like to be confined. He didn't like to be directed. He didn't like to lose his independence. He didn't like to feel useless. He had so many complaints about his last years. It really wasn't, it wasn't living, and I feel like I'm choking. He may have also had some longer COPD or something going on in here. Choking throat lung issues possibly before his passing, or he didn't get a proper goodbye, or there could be a lack of closure surrounding his passing because he really couldn't speak. There's also a lady coming in here with him. But, I feel like with her, it was more of a peaceful kind of passing. What they're talking about here with you is that you are clearly stressed. And I can't prescribe a diagnosis, but if you're grinding your teeth or you're dealing with like TMJ, yes, that's important. Okay. You've got to correct that. Sure. But the root issue is the stress itself. And you need to be asking questions about how you can better solve, this stress. What he's encouraging you to do is like walk more and talk more. Now, I don't know if you're walking and talking to yourself or if you already do that. Seems like maybe you enjoy kind of just talking to yourself all day. It's actually a sign of really high IQ. Brilliant people do that. And it's for problem solving, and like efficiency. You move through things a lot faster. People who talk to themselves. So look up the research on that. It's hilarious. I do feel like you get it from him. He has the engineer's mind. So he understood how systems fit together, as do you. Whether it's like, tech or bio or science or groups of people, like thoughts, whatever it is, like you understand how systems fit together. And also when they're inefficient or ineffective. And so like you can go in and rearrange things. This is where your money is. This is where your money maker is. That, and he said your face, your smile and talking. Okay. That. But lately it's like you are maybe feeling confined or like a rat in a cage, or like you're in an elevator, or like you're feeling confined. Okay. And it's right around this time. I'm feeling this for you. So take it out, resonates. Okay. This could just be starting now, but I actually feel like you've been in this a little bit. And there's talk of the last 3 days. What they're talking about is like showing you different things that you could like do to rearrange your circumstances. And you're feeling it almost like if you were playing a card game, it's like, shoot, I said I want to draw, but it's like, I pray to God this is a high card. I pray to God this is a wilder. I pray to God this is good because my hand's not looking too good right now. And you're like looking and you're like, okay, it's like, okay, good. I have some good stuff coming in. I can work with this. I can work with this. And you're managing everything. You're watching other people and their facial expressions, and you're kind of debating on what hand they may have. You're trying to win the game. This suggests that you are feeling a little claustrophobic and somewhat entrapped, and like you're not playing with a very big hand in life. I think you may be feeling this in relationship, and I think you may be feeling this in career and or resources. Take it out resonates. But this is a time for you to focus instead of like on all those things and how they make you feel or what you want to have change or feeling burnout or frustrated. It's best for you right now and for a little while for you to just focus on stress reduction. What can I do for stress reduction? What works for one person doesn't always necessarily work for another. Okay. So if walking and talking is what works for you, then walk and talk until your lips fall off. You know, if this is about walking, movement meditation brings clarity, and it does. Okay? It brings clarity, solutions, it reduces your stress level, it raises your vibration, it makes you more creative, it shifts you to the right side of your brain. It's also quite possibly for you that talking is something you need to be doing more of, maybe with like a therapist or with maybe friends, or feeling like you're getting more supportive people like listening to you. Because when you talk, you figure things out. You don't have to know what you're going to talk about or how you're going to say it, but when you express yourself, you figure things out. So that is a form of motion meditation for you as well. So walking and talking, less grinding of the teeth, less stress, everything else moves, everything else flows, everything else can be let loose. Okay. And then we have fluidity. Just know how much they love you. Is this you responding here? I totally talk to myself in my car. It's so helpful. Is Black Cat the girl I'm reading? Is Black Cat Tiffany, or is that just somebody else? I do this too. You guys are so funny. Uh Thank you so much about the lipstick. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, I think this works for a lot of people and we don't even realize that we're doing it because society treats it like it's weird, right? We're punished as kids for like talking or having these like, tics or stems or whatever, you know what I mean? But like noise and movement really helps a lot of us regulate. And it was taken from us. So it's like you're taking it back. It's actually pretty revolutionary for you, you know? I do have to run to the restroom. So how many more do we have? Um, Diana? Diana, my beautiful producer, if you guys can all say thank you to her too, okay? She's the one in the comment section taking your information here from Instagram and TikTok. And we really do appreciate her. She's putting everyone in 6 more. Okay, I am going to take a restroom break. I will be right back. And I got to check on the cat. Okay, she probably wants to come in. I'll be right back. Thank you for being patient. Are you going to join us? Did you have fun? Did you have fun? she is. There she is. What are you doing? You want to come join us? Come on, Mama. All right. Let's see. We're going to go here. Is that the goal? There we go. Okay. What we have next is this DHNIKA 6116 says, hey guys, I haven't been on Ivy's channel in quite some time. I was wondering if things have changed for a reading on nights like tonight. How does it work? So welcome back. So no, nothing has changed. It's been the same for like 12, 13 years. So basically what you're doing is just dropping your $10 donation and your question. And every show is different. I think at this point we're running like 10 different shows. Maybe they just circulate. Okay. So this is all mediumship. Absolutely. Thank you for being here. And we are going to move on to the next one. Okay, Manny. Manny says, hi, Ivy. Can I receive a message from Gary Williams, who's passed on? Okay, Gary Williams. The first thing I notice when he comes in here is that he has a strong presence about him. He doesn't go unnoticed. I also feel something wrong in the stomach. So it feels like there could have been a substantial amount of like swelling or pain going on down here before his passing. He is talking about pennies from heaven with you, pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, tokens, flickering lights, and certain songs. Okay, music, he uses music. So make sure you're looking up the lyrics. If you hear something and it's just at the right time, okay, and it's like, you know, I'm going to Google this. This is directional healing for me. He said that he has been visiting in some dreams as well. 2 in particular, I feel like where you were able to see that he is in a good place, like where he transitioned, but he really just wanted you to know that he's supporting you more than anything. He said that you've been, it's almost like looking for similar company, you know, to the company you had with him. It's like you're pulling up these different, if you were to go crabbing or something, I mean, I don't even know, is that a thing? You know, people put bait in the down south, like bait in the cage, and then you leave it and then you pull it up and you've got crabs in there, you know, it's like fishing. It's like you keep pulling things up and you're not necessarily finding what you're looking for. And he just wants you to know, okay, he's always there with you and that you've sort of become that support for other people. So it's like you are becoming a cornerstone for others. You're the stability. I feel like the 2 of you could share things, emotional things, you know, deep thoughts. You could safely process things and you had a good time. There was a lot of banter going on there, but it was a safe relationship. It was a fun relationship. Okay. And I want to say that there's also a lot of protection coming up here. Okay. So like protective energy and very, very work focused as well. So he's helping you when you're dealing with your resources and he's making sure that you're protected. And especially when you're trying to protect your things or protect others, he's there with you. Also something about a dog. I can't tell if this is your dog that sees him or if this is going to be, he keeps coming up to you in dogs. Real dogs. I'm not talking about like an emoji of a dog or dog video, although, I mean, maybe it is. He said it could be whatever. Okay. I feel like beagles in particular, though, if it's going to be that. But I feel like he's literally coming up to you as a dog or through animals. So be watching there. And that has a lot to do also with loyalty. All right. So you guys were loyal to each other, and he hears you. He just wants you to know that. All right. So if you've been like reaching out to him, he hears you. I hear you. I hear you. I answer you. Watch for those pennies from heaven. Pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, tokens. That was the very first thing he said. That was the first thing I saw anyways. And that's the last thing. He went full circle on that. So start a little memorial area for him where you're collecting these. And he said, look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. What are the numbers telling you? He's very, he's a numerology guy. He's saying 5 and 6. So right now you've got 5, you're in a 5 cycles, 5 change going on in multiple areas at once. Okay. Leading to what feels like a bit of a completion. Okay. Completion of a cycle for you. Interesting. Yeah. He has a lot of love for you. Ton of love. Okay. Something about having a beer, like have a beer, sit back, relax, let everyone else do their thing. Like get everybody else out of your head, clear your head. Okay. All right. Thank you, Manny. We're going to move on to another one. And this is for Hazel, Miami Heat 305-ish. General reading for Hazel. Who's here for Hazel? What's coming up for Hazel? General reading. Okay. So you have a lady who's real protective over you, coming through mom's side of the family, feels like grandmother energy, and another lady who's like sister aunt energy, who would have passed a little bit younger. Both of them talking about you needing to celebrate your own self instead of waiting for someone to, bring you an anniversary gift or send you long stem roses on Valentine's Day or tell you that you did amazing, at work that day, or, tell you that you need to take a break. Here's $500, go to the spa, go to the mall, go to the, whatever, like treat yourself to a little something. Like you need to be doing that for yourself. What these ladies learned, and your grandmother says later in life, far too late. She said far too late in life, which suggests to me she may have been a martyr or a victim. But later in life, she learned that if she didn't take care of herself, if she didn't give it to herself, she was never going to get it. And once she figured it out, she said, I pride myself on that. But I feel like you have some hesitancy with this, not because you don't feel like you deserve it, but because you don't identify when you need things. You don't identify what you want. Okay. And the sister aunt energy steps in here and says that you can sometimes move so quickly and robotically through your day that you have now moved so quickly and robotically through your whole life, almost like a zombie. Like, this is what I'm supposed to do. I must eat breakfast. I must go to work. I have time now to go for a quick run. I must shower. I must go to bed. I must, you know what I mean? Look at social media, spend time talking to friends, get this in, get that in, get this in, get that in. And it's just so dull. It's so scheduled and coordinated that like nothing fresh can even come in. You've gotten into too much of a routine in the way that you think about your life. And so you're not able to really recognize when it's time for you to reward yourself or to take a break, to step away, okay, to create something new. What they want you to do for a while, I would say the next 2 to 3 weeks, is monitor throughout the day every single, Grandma's calling it an opportunity. Okay. Every single time you have an opportunity. I love that. An opportunity to realize you're stressed, to realize you have a block in front of you, to realize someone is testing you, okay, to realize there's an obstacle, and to say, this is an opportunity for me to focus on self-love right now and celebration of my life. And that's what I'm going to do. Okay. And you're going to get more in a routine. If you could even do this for like 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to get more in a routine of noticing subtle changes in your energy throughout the day that are saying, like your inner child saying, I need love. I need attention. Okay. I need energy and affection right now. And this will also prevent you from feeling a sense of burnout or frustration with others, circumstances, relationship partners, because nothing is giving enough. Nothing is giving enough. The world isn't giving enough. My employer isn't giving enough, right? My relationships aren't giving enough. Nothing's giving enough. Nothing's giving enough because you're not giving enough. When you give enough to yourself, you don't look outside for it anyways. Okay. And whatever does come from outside is just a bonus. It's just like the icing on the cake. Right, Mama? As he came over for your reading, Hazel. You want to come up here? Come on up. Whoa. Okay. All right. And just know that they love you very much. It also feels like a red rose for you as well. That's like, I've got a lot of these tonight, but that could be a birthday or anniversary right around this time. It can also be a passing anniversary, just a deep love. Take it out, resonates. But it does feel like you have something to celebrate here coming up in the next like maybe 3 to 4 days. Okay, so that's awesome. Thank you. And thank you, ladies. We're going to move on. You're going to clean your butt right there in front of as everyone gets to watch. All right. Who do we have next? Next up is Andrea M3559. Andrea M3559. What do my guides want me to know? Andrea M. Guides. Huh. It's like your work and money guide is talking about the plumbing, the electrical, the roof. I don't know if I'm talking about the roof. I'm talking about a ceiling. What is going on? It's almost like you need to work on some foundational stuff in your house. Okay. Now take this how it resonates. If you are making any changes, upgrades, investments, okay, that's good. That's wise. Do that. But it also feels like this is very symbolic of you experiencing life right around this time as being maybe a little leaky, emotional, drained, feeling like the plumbing is down or something, like, like I need to get a plumber in here. And that's symbolic of like your body, your life, your mental and emotional state. So if you've been feeling as though you need to stop the bleeding, stop the drainage, right? Stop your energy from leaking. You need things to be more efficient. You don't want water damage, right? Water damage is every homeowner's worst nightmare. I think it's everyone's worst nightmare, like water damage in your house, right? You don't want that, but you're also not doing enough to prevent that. And if you have leaky pipes, you're going to have ceiling issues. You're going to. It's going to happen. So why aren't you essentially taking the time right now to make sure that you're not getting drained? It's like turn the faucet off or get a plumber in here. You could also be feeling like you've been maybe more emotional, or you're getting emotionally drained by people around you. This is what happens with level 3-4 empathic ability. If you haven't taken it, check out my empathic awareness training up on the website, because you, as a level 3-4 empath, are involuntarily absorbing other people's physical stuff, mental stuff, emotional ailments, whatever. And you can lose sight of what is mine and what is others. Who am I even? Where do you start? And, I end, or where do I begin and you end, or whatever it is. It's enmeshed. And you seem to be almost unwilling to do the work that is required to block that out, cleanse yourself, stay rooted and grounded. And it's time. Okay, it's time. In the last 6 to 7 months, you had an increase with your empathic ability again. So, you have to own it. I do think, or you get drained and overwhelmed, right? That's the side effect. We could also see like sleep disturbances, irritable bowel, migraines, anxiety, and depression, like a low-level depression, low-key depression. I can't prescribe or diagnose. And the electrical here is about your brain. Okay, your nervous system, like, also, but it's really your brain. If you've been feeling like your brain isn't really fully working lately, I think you need to stop and examine why that is. So it's almost like short circuiting. It's like I'm on, I'm off, I'm on, I'm off, I'm on, I'm off. And I think that we could, again, I can't prescribe or diagnose, but we may want to look at things like hormone levels and like blood levels. Okay, so like measuring the levels in your system may be affecting that as well. But it's time for you to focus on you for a while and be like, you know what? I want a more solid plumbing, electrical, feeling like I'm in a solid foundation here. Everything is strong and well kept. Okay. Not just sort of ignoring it and going along. Thank you, Andrea. We're going to move on to another one. Thank you. Next up is Cheyenne X23. Looking to connect with Jesus. We call him Papa. Okay, hold on a second. Cheyenne. Okay, Cheyenne wants to connect with Jesus, aka Papa. All right. Yep, I got him here. Hold on. He liked to tinker. He's tinkering with cars, tinkering under the hood of your car. I don't know if he knew what he was doing all the time necessarily, but he likes to tinker with things. And he's been keeping an eye on you. He wants you to know, like riding with you in the car, riding with you guys in the car. Okay, so I don't know if this is you and your sister, or this is also a brother, but this seems to be a female over here, a male over here. I ride with you in the car. He rides shotgun. He sends you music and birds, large birds, eagles, hawks, vultures, large birds, and what looks like I'm going with a woodpecker on this. Okay, as well. But that might come like up to the house, or you're just like noticing, that doesn't have to be necessarily when you're out and about. That feels more like a residential oddity. He is also talking about a pink rose for you. And if you have like a sister or the other female, this may also apply to her a bit. So give it out. But a pink rose is a brand new beginning. Now, it can be a baby, so that's not something you want. Be mindful, but, it can be a baby entering the family. But this is a brand new beginning, and it feels like a business opportunity, a brand new project. This is something you're investing in. It's very exciting. It does require a lot of hard work. He said expertise. A lot of hard work and investment, but it will pay off in a huge way. And he just wants you to know that. Okay. He's also talking about like you working on, it feels like you as an expert, or you and your expertise. If you've been studying for a while, doing certifications, you're learning, you're growing, you're really trying to be, he said, dedicated. You've been really dedicated to, like, you've been dedicated to bettering your life and also wanting to help other people. He's really proud of you. Okay. It feels like you could check that off the list, like you're getting that done. And it feels like you have a significant sort of level up. Okay. 2 levels up, coming to you in life with prosperity. Okay. Having your pick of the litter, or your say, okay, over how you want to live your life. um, independently, autonomously, and he's with the female as well. He's with the female. Okay, and they're both keeping an eye on you. Yeah, he's in good company. I feel like you may smell him. No, I can't tell. Sometimes this is some type of smoke, but I smelled it was almost like a cologne. And from her, I feel like cooking. Okay, so I smell certain foods. This is not everybody really has it to the extent that you do, but it's called Claire Augustine. The ability to smell phantom odors and taste phantom flavors, and no one else will. Okay, so just know he uses this with you. He also said, it's almost like bingo, okay, and chess. It's like you may be doing a little gambling right around this time. He just wants you to have some fun, okay? He loves you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Grandpa. We are going to move on. Who do we have next? And hello, Diana? We have another one? Okay, we're at last call. So if you guys still wanted to get your reading in, okay, you can go ahead and do so at this time. If you prefer to book privately, you can go onto my website, ivyriverapsychicmedium.com, and click on spirit message. You can also gift this to someone else, or you could book any type of reading. I have a whole bunch of options up there. Thank you. Black Cat, aka Camilla, said, any messages from my dad? His name is Bill. Okay, so Camilla wants to hear from Bill. Bill, you know, he's talking about laying something to rest, and this may be bothering you, or you feel guilt. You feel guilt or shame, or like, I don't want to lay this to rest. You may be cutting someone off or not giving as much to them as you used to, setting better boundaries, but you're seeing it almost like a casket. It's like a casket and there's a body in it, and I cannot put the lid on it, and I cannot bury this thing, and I cannot stop mourning this, and I cannot leave this side, and I'm supposed to, and I'm supposed to, and I'm supposed to. He said, you know, at some point, you have to just understand that with people and situations in your life that aren't going anywhere, they're not growing, they're preventing you from growing. It's enough. It's enough. Okay. You just have to step away sometimes. You're not obligated. Okay. As he agrees, as he's coming to confirm on your reading here. You like him? Is he fun? You know, he's a very sensible guy. This is the thing. He wouldn't have spent any more money on something if the price was raising and raising and raising, and it wasn't a quality product, or he knows it'll go on sale, or he knows he could have gotten it at, you know, $30. He's not gonna pay $65 today for it. You know, you have to at some point say about people and situations, this is no longer worth the cost. He has a way of keeping an eye on you and making sure that you understand, more importantly, your worth. And he said, this is the issue. This is the core issue. Now, he has karmic debt to you in this area. Okay. Which means that maybe he's somewhat to blame. Okay. Because he was kind of humble in that way too, you know. You don't come from a long line of like boasty people, but maybe you should have. Maybe we all should. He wants you to know your self-worth. Okay. And that you don't stay anywhere that isn't moving you along. Okay. That isn't supporting you. You are always showing up for everyone else, whether it be work, relationships, family, whatever, right? You have a way of showing up for everyone else and being like, I am here and I brought my A game and let's have a good time. You know, let's do our best. And it's like, but are people doing that for you? Is that happening for you? Are you sure? Are you afraid to measure it? Do you not know how much is stored up in the universe as like blessings that you've earned that you deserve to have? Well, first you have to sacrifice, or you have to detox, or you have to unblock, or you have to cord cut, or you have to let go. You got to put that lid on that casket, throw some dirt on the thing, and go. Okay? Move on. Just move on. He's also coming to you in cats. I don't even know if he liked cats. Tabby cats in particular. He's coming to you in cats. If you have cats, the cats can see him. But he's funny. My cat likes him. but he shows up in photographs as well. If you're ever filming anything or you're taking pictures, he shows up as orbs. And I do wonder if you may end up getting a photograph of like an orb, maybe you're doing a fire pit or you're at a party or something or a wedding and there's an orb and you can almost like see his face in the one orb. He also says you have a memorial for him. It feels like I'm in the living room and maybe on like a mantle or something, but I'm slightly over to the left. Feels like a bunch of his things and some female things. I'm assuming that's a grandmother, like over here as well. Okay, so just know it's called psychometry. You can also tap those objects, okay, and talk to him directly. It's like picking up a phone. Here's a quick message for everyone. He loves you very much. Also giving a red rose, birthday or anniversary right around this time, passing anniversary or a deep love. Take it out, resonates. You'll be seeing him in a dream within the next 3 days, okay? One dream. This is something everyone can do. So if you want to communicate with your deceased loved one or pet, right? You put an object that is connected to them in your left hand palm. You close your eyes, you put your right hand, because this is your receiving side, this is your power outside. You close your eyes, you put your right hand over the top of it, and it's like calling them up on the phone. You have a direct communication with them. So if you watch a lot of movies, like witchy movies and stuff, you would see the old school like mediums and psychics do that. I think of True Blood. Okay, in True Blood, when Sookie went to go get a reading from the witch, who remembers this? And the witch said, give me something familiar of yours. And she put it in her left hand and put her right hand over. That's psychometry. Okay. And then she had a direct link, not only to Sookie, but to Sookie's grandma. Okay. And anyone else who was trying to come through. And so we can all do this. So use those objects. Pictures work too, not as well, but pictures of the person can also work. All right. Thank you, Camilla. Thank you, Dad. We're going to move on. Miami Heat 305-ish. This is just some feedback. She said, thank you so much, Ivy. Say hi to Esmeralda Marie for me. And thanks to her for giving me some magical positive vibes my way. Absolutely. I don't know. She only comes over for certain readings. It's hilarious. Andrea M. said, thanks, Ivy. You are very right with the house analogy, both physically and spiritually. Oh, interesting. That's the plumbing and the electric. Okay. Both physically and spiritually. I also think I'm learning through fixing the things in my home that have been put off. I will work on me too. I love that. Thank you for saying that, because it's such a great reminder that the world around us is a reflection of what's inside, right? What's that saying? As above, so below, things like that. But it's like everything around us is showing us something about us. It's not even really about all those things. It's about us, even more importantly. So that's really interesting. Thank you so much for that feedback, you guys. Thank you for the love and support always. And do we have any more coming in, or are we at time? Christina wants a general reading. Okay, Christina. General reading. And this is on YouTube. Christina on YouTube, general reading. Christina, who's here for Christina? Okay, a little stress. Holy shit. Who's that? So you have your guardian angel showing up. Tension and stress. I can't even pop my jaw. It's like built up, but like a frustration, like, stuff just like isn't moving. It's just stuck energy. And who is this? Work and money guide, relationship guide. Okay. Be careful also. Like, I can't prescribe a diagnose, but just a little protection coming in here with like the reproductive system. And, I'm not good with health stuff. I mean, I can do medical intuitive, but like, that's not this show. You know what I mean? Just anything down here, anything, organs, what else is down there? I don't know, intestines. You know what I'm saying? This area. Yeah, because it can throw other things off. It's like something down here threw this off up here, and that's connected. And it's like, okay, everything's connected. I can't prescribe or diagnose, but don't ignore things. Like, for example, if you start to feel a little bit off and you're like, I think I need some rest, take some rest, right? You have to call in. You don't have to be sick. Don't let the corporate world, don't let capitalism keep killing you. You know what I'm saying? Like, take a mental health day. You can lie or whatever, but put your feet up for the day. You need to stop caring, because like you're racking this stuff up and it's like, who's keeping score? Who's keeping score? Why are you're keeping score against your own self? Like, got to do better. Like, well, good, I haven't taken a day off in a million years. That's not something to celebrate. That's a sign of imbalance. That's probably why this tension is here, right? So we've got your guardian angel coming in. We've got your relationship and your work and money guide talking about you dealing with stress better, needing to deal a little bit better there. I would say the next 3 days in particular, you may be slowed down a little bit, put in a little bit of a timeout chair to sit and relax and get more centered and take some deep breaths, nice cleansing breaths. Maybe you have recently decided to get into something like yoga, okay, which would be great, or walking more. That could also work here. But I think that there's a real disappointment here, somewhere sandwiched in between your two guides, coming in talking about relationship stuff that feels disappointing and some work stuff that seems to not be moving. But I could look at either one and say the same thing. It's almost like the same message. So maybe stuff with work isn't moving and resources in the way you want. And pushing harder is not the solution. Doing less is. And focusing more on your personal life, your health and well-being, your inner balance is going to bring prosperity. You have to think of money and titles and power and resources and networking and contracts and partnerships as derived. They're being derived from your inner state. Okay. And the higher vibration you are, the more of that stuff you have. But this relationship situation is really getting me the most. And this is where I just feel like things just aren't moving. You know what? Here's a good way to say this. Okay. And this is from them collectively and me psychically. I think you need to start looking at people who don't grow and change more. You need to start looking at them. I feel like I'm getting hiccups. This is like a throat chakra issue for you. You need to look at them more honestly and raw and just say, almost like there's no hope for you. You know what I mean? It's almost like, that's who you are. That's who you've always been. You look the same now that you did 13 years ago. I'm going to gamble saying that you're going to be the same in another decade, and that's a fact, because patterns don't lie. And you can't overexert yourself, strain, overreach, which is at this point enabling for other people who don't care for themselves even as much as you care for them. Okay. This reminds me, I've said this in a couple other shows. When I talk about my exes, they're like, I don't know what happened. I don't know. I'm not saying this has to be a love partner. It seems like you're needing to do this with all your relationships. I'm just using this as an example. A lot of my exes would be like, well, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. It would be like, I thought you loved me. I do love you. You don't love you. And so there's nothing I can do about it. Okay. Enough. Like, I'm not your mom, there's an approach I think you need to start taking with people more that is hands off. You need to be focusing on you more and stop making excuses for people, because they're not broken. I had thank you, Christina. I had a client today, and I feel like this is the general message. Didn't we have one general message tonight? I don't know. I can't remember. But anyways, here's the second one if we did. I had a client today who was saying to me, I had a horrible day and I'm horribly drained. And I said, okay, let's take a look at it. And at the end of the reading, I was like, none of this was yours. None of this had to happen. You could have had an amazing fucking day. An amazing fucking day. I saw all this good stuff coming had she just been able to mind her own business. But she was worried about the look in someone's eye, and she was worried about the facial expression on this person, and she was worried about something this person said to her that was none of their business anyways to even be saying to her. And she was worried about this thing over here, and she was worried about other people's perceptions or positions, or how they were playing their hand in life. And it was like, now you're burnt out, now you're dissatisfied, and your whole life is dragged down because none of that was any of your business. Know, and this is just the general message for everyone, know where that line is drawn. And Ezzy is here for this one, between you and other people. What is mine and what is others? Stay in your lane. Don't overreach. Mind your own business. Okay? No matter how much you may want to, and no one is an extension of you. And when we don't live according to that, when we're overreaching and enabling and our mind is cluttered with other people, we get negative karmic kickback from the universe. So all of your situations in life, relationships, money, health, whether stagnate or deteriorate. And that's the universe's way of letting you know you're doing it wrong. Okay? Mind your own business. All right, we are going to move on to another one unless we are at time. I don't know where we are. This is someone from TikTok giving feedback. I'm tuning in from TikTok. My name is Brittany B. I'd love reading what to expect on my love path. And if you see anyone on the road ahead, please. Thank you, Ivy. Okay, so Brittany... Ow, Ezzy, we're not going to do that. Brittany B on TikTok. Hello, Brittany. Welcome. Brittany B. And Ezzy is here for your reading. Love Life for Brittany. Who's here for Brittany? Your love and relationship guide. There may be an ex you're trying to shake. And this feels more mental than anything, but there's really, in the larger scheme of things, nothing more important, than our mental state. Everything else that goes on stems from our mental state. So I don't want to be like, it's just mental, it's not real. No, it's more real than anything. You seem to mentally still be processing somebody from the past who you have some energetic cords with. I would recommend cord cutting. If you don't know how, there's a class on my website, but any ceremony that works for you will do. I would clear this out if I were you. I would leave it to the past where it belongs. I think you may not have gotten something out of someone that you felt you deserved. And it could have caused you to shrink or to feel unworthy or like low self-esteem. And you may also have developed some trust issues because of it. This person, I heard, was in cahoots. I don't know what weirdness they were up to with that. That's a whole other storyline, I feel. But, sometimes you could tell with people when they have a little bit of like a bitchy vibe, a little weasel vibe. You could tell if they're gossiping or backbiting or talking about, you could just tell, right? It's like you always kind of thought maybe this person was going behind your back talking about you, but you don't expect it out of a lover. And it also seems like they were deceptive. So they were feeding you a lot of talking out both sides of their mouth or lying to you about a lot of things. And you would have, then felt like trust, your ability to trust or use your own intuition was broken. It isn't. That's the first and most important thing to know. We got to clear this out. Not just this person's energy, but like any damage that they did or any ways that you allowed it. Own it. Look back and be like, well, how did I participate? What did I tolerate? When did I know better, but I decided to collect red flags? When was it on me? And own that. That's taking your power back. But going forward, it looks like you've got someone trying to come in here who wants to talk to you a lot. I want to talk to you every day. I want to hear from you every day. I want to talk all day if we could. Of course, we have work and other things to do, but it's like as soon as we're done, I want to get back to this conversation. This person seems like an open book, is very loving and affectionate, wants to support you as much as you want to support them. And this person may be more hooked on you than you are on them. And that's okay. Enjoy that. I think it's cute. I mean, don't string them along, of course not, but I mean, if they want you that bad, give them what they want, I mean, are you going to be there forever? I don't know. I get this feeling that you think there's something more out there, and there may be, but you may also feel like you want to focus more on you and building your own life, and you don't want to fully like commit to this person or give in and then be sort of like locked down energetically and mentally. And relationships are a lot of work. That's a lot of maintenance. That's like if you were to go out and get a dog, or a cat, like you want to commit to that. Something about your higher mind is saying like, I don't think so. I don't think so. But you like talking with them and you like the attention that they give, and you're good for them. So I think you may find yourself playing for a while. Okay. This comes up around 6 to 7, could be weeks out from now. I was going to say months originally. We'll take it how it resonates. Could be both, like showing up and then getting bigger around that time. But yeah, I see dark hair and I see a playful nature. This person could be spicy a little bit. Very innocent. Very innocent. You deserve this. Okay. Have fun with it. Okay. Chemistry is good. Sexual chemistry is good. Intellectual stimulation is good. What more do we want? Okay. Who cares about like forever? What does it mean? Or where does it go? Who cares? Just enjoy it. Okay. And it's a gift, right? It's the universe putting someone on your path who can uplift you as well. Love it. Thank you, Brittany. And who do we have next? Maraid. Okay. So this is another question, I think. I feel hurt and betrayed by Nate and Nat. They were talking about me before and how I've been pulling back from them. I don't want to be friends with either of them anymore. What is the best way to do that? So let me see what is coming up. Nate and Nat. Okay. I don't know if you have entanglement, but I have your relationship guide and your protector guide coming in here talking about like entanglement in friend groups or social situations that could be a little delicate or like tricky to navigate, where it's like, if I do something over here with this one, it automatically includes that one. And then a bunch of other people who are like either witnessing or could have opinions. I think the only way to do this is off like a Band-Aid. Like, I don't care. I don't care. It makes a very bold statement for you to say no thank you to them, and to whether people are watching and analyzing and passing judgment. It makes a very bold statement that you back who you say you are, that you have standards and limitations, and you're not interested in playing with low level energies, that you are a high vibrational person. This shows character and integrity, and I almost want to say all eyes are on you. Okay, them included. All eyes are on you, and you're sort of a karmic mirror for people right now. You're reflecting back onto them where they need to make improvements in their own relationships. These are a bunch of people who would tolerate literally anything because they really have no standards, So I do wonder if you enter into a situation where they're still present. This is always complicated. Where they're still there. It's like, oh, here you are. I just, can we have a good time? Can I just have something, please? So you may find, I would expect at least a few different encounters like this going forward. I'm seeing 2 to 3. So this could be over the next 2 to 3 days, but it could extend. I'm not going to sugarcoat out like weeks. Okay. And that's fine. But if they're there and you can't sort of fully escape them, or they're somehow entangled in the environment, I would just sort of act like they're invisible. I would just ignore them. So you're mentally cutting them off. You're doing your thing. You're showing up high vibration, and you're letting it be almost like water off a duck's back. It's like, this will not affect my ability to stay centered and enjoy myself and communicate with others and be at peace. Period. It won't. And that's a master skill, to be able to get through life without like, this person's over here that I don't want to see, and this is over here talking about me, or I don't like, or whatever. Oh well, that's the world. The world is a messy place. And the only thing you can really ever do is learn how to work from your bubble, okay, and enjoy yourself. And I think ignoring them, right, cutting them off, literally, I do think that they may also be energetically kind of coming at you. So a cord cutting, blocks, and a binding if you need to. But it's like taunting, I'm hearing. Okay, so there could almost be like trying to, it's a little menacing, honestly. Trying to kind of come at you. Here's the bottom line. People don't like when they're cut off, especially this gnat, the one without the E, gnat, not Nate. They don't like when they're cut off. People don't like when they're cut off. And they know when they're a mooch, when they're a leech, when they're a vampire, they know when you cut them off just mentally, like you haven't even done anything yet. They've got like radar, okay? Because that's how they consume everyone's energy. They're clocking everyone all the time. You don't even realize you're being clocked, okay? And you are. So the minute you even just mentally shift and go, I'm going to cut off from this person, they start trying to reconnect energetically, right? Or force you to give them more attention. So this could be like playing dumb, asking stupid questions, like reaching out for no reason, dragging out conversations, like trying to just get up in your space, in your face. And you just have to, I don't see you. I don't see you. So it's not going to be that big of a deal, and it won't last very long, I don't think. Okay. Thank you, Marae. Do we have any more coming in? Okay. Brittany 894, this is feedback. She said, thank you, Ivy. You were spot on with someone currently who wants a lot of my time and attention, but it feels a bit suffocating when he's really anxious and I don't respond right away. I don't know. Yeah, I feel you on that. Good for you. You know what? And here's another way to handle people like that too. Let them be anxious. You don't have to let that in. You know what I'm saying? It could be like, oh, look at you over there wriggling and writhing and dying to get my attention because I didn't text you back right away. Good luck with that. I'm going to go over here and eat my yogurt and have my cup of tea and enjoy myself. Take your sweet ass time. That is not your problem. It doesn't always mean that we have to cut people off. We can if it gets annoying enough, right? But it doesn't always mean that we have to. We could sometimes just be like, well, that's their stuff. I don't know, just detach. There are a lot of people like that. All right. We had another one pop up, and thank you, Brittany. Abby like Hicks says, any messages for direction in the next few months? Okay, so for Abby like Hicks, for the next few months, direction. Who's here for Abby? Okay. You have a gentleman coming through, feels like paternal energy, and his hair may have gone quite white or like gray, but with some white in it. Some people get that nice where it's almost like there's some salt and pepper and then some white in there, and it's like a really cool, like multi-tone, gray. and he's taller, okay, and a leaner guy. But he was very exact. He was very precise. It could have made him a little dull, a little boring, because it was like, what needs to be done, what needs to be done. And if ever he was like on vacation or you guys were, traveling, it was like just on top of everything, and his little underwear would have been just rolled in a ball, and his socks were perfect, and everything was orderly, and it was very like, he may have also fished or loved the water, or you may, okay, but anyways, I feel like he's in that, but he's talking about the next few months. It feels like you're cleaning house. So it feels like you may be leaving an old world behind and creating another world. It's almost this image of you like painting the walls of your house and getting a new door or a new door frame or getting new curtains. And it's like, I don't need brand new windows. I just need new curtains. It's like you're figuring out, and you're in the kitchen. You're like, I just need some new appliances. I'm going to start juicing. I just need a bread maker. I don't know. It's like, I'm going to start making sourdough or something. It's like you're looking around, and this is symbolic of your life. It's not actually just about your house. No, it may be. Take it out, resonates. It can be both. But this is symbolic of like looking at different areas of your life and being like, I need to freshen this up. I want some fresh new energy in here. And he is helping you along so that you can feel, okay, here's a good way to say this. Sometimes we leave our old self behind. And before we completely become our new self, we feel like we're in this weird intermediate space. And it can feel literally like outer space, like no gravity, like I'm floating, like I'm lost. I'm just bouncing around here. I'm like a ghost. I'm like a shell of who I was, and I don't know who I'm becoming, and I don't really know even where I'm going necessarily. But he's talking about you have this spark, you have this fire, you have this flame brewing within you. And it's bringing in excitement, like you're looking forward to doing certain things. This could involve your spiritual development. This could involve healing work. This involves your life contract. This involves general everyday lifestyle fulfillment. Okay, you're getting your hands dirty. You're excited about it. And he wants you to hold on to that. You don't need to be who you were, and you don't need to be who you will be. It's okay to be in this intermediate space and to just redecorate. Every room of your house, everything you work on is like an aspect of yourself. And I do think that you could also be missing some people. As he said, it's almost like you walk through your house, meaning your life, and maybe your house, and you see pictures of people who were there, or you remember a time when you were maybe better supported, or, you are aware of even things like the aging process. You're aware of your body. You're aware of your, mortality. And you're like, I'm a little uncomfortable with all this. Like, just unsure. And he wants you to also start seeing yourself as like who you're becoming is almost more of an elder. There are certain key people that anchor us. They're the cornerstone. They're the elder in our life. And then you're becoming that for other people. Almost kind of like a healer, a mentor, an elder. And this is your last transition before you enter into that. And I think once you enter into that, you don't really go through any of these transitions again. This isn't the first time. This is the third time you've gone through this metamorphosis, and it's not going to happen again. So like, try to enjoy where you are. And even anything you're looking at in your life where you're like, oh, I don't really know about this relationship, or I don't really know about this work situation, or I don't really know about what I'm doing with my career right now, or my research. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know about this house. I don't know about where I'm, this state or country. It's like, I don't know. That's okay. Enjoy this phase of examination. Okay. Because, this is it. This is the last time you'll be in this sort of liminal space, right? And he loves you very much. He thinks you're doing an amazing job. You're doing an amazing job. I just think you need to hear it. He said, she just needs to hear it. Say it again. He loves you, and he thinks you're doing an amazing job. He loves you. You are loved. You are loved. You deserve to hear it. You deserve to hear it. You should be hearing it more. Okay. You are loved. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Abby. And thank you. All right, we're going to move on. Do we have any more coming in here? Janet Gomez, a general reading. Okay. And how many more, Diana? Janet Gomez, general reading for Janet Gomez. And also, Diana, if you could figure out what the next upcoming shows are, so when I wrap it up, I can like announce them because I forgot a bit. How many more, Diana? Okay. Who is here for Janet Gomez? General reading for Janet. Okay. I want to say dad's side of the family, a lot of action in here. What feels like dad energy? Is this grandpa? I feel like I want to go more with dad energy on this. I also have, I want to say, a lady coming through, maternal energy. They're talking about bingo, or they're talking about you playing, being more playful, taking some gambles right now. I don't know, maybe just play the lotto or something today, but I'm hearing bingo quite literally. And there's, how do I want to say this? Like a table being laid out for you. Okay. So they're talking about bringing you love, bringing you support. There's a table of celebration being laid out for you. So you're going to have an opportunity here in, I want to say, probably the next 2 weeks to be recognized. This could be some type of like an award, a reward. People are showing their appreciation for you. And I don't think this just hits one area. I think this is a bit of a blanketed period of time for you where you're getting recognized, and it's coming from like, work and resource type stuff. It's coming from family and friends and relationships, but it's also just coming from the streets. So it's like I'm out and about and I'm getting lucky, or someone's not charging me, or someone's just smiling, or they're letting me go ahead, or they're, people are just being kinder. They're holding the door open and just being loving and supportive. I think it's an important time for you to sort of unbury your head, because they're talking about you've had your head buried in the sand. It's almost like, I got to get through the day. I got to get through my life. I just got to get through this week. And it's almost as though you don't necessarily have a lot, you feel. Okay. Which is all that really counts. You don't really feel like you have a lot to look forward to. Thank you for the hearts on TikTok. And you do. And that's all. They just want you to know you have a 2-week period where you're being lavished with love. Okay. All types of little blessings are there, but you have to kind of unbury your head, right? And get out of that mindset that like, I'm just going to get through the day. Okay. It's like, you're supposed to look around, and you're supposed to be an active participant in seeing the blessings in the world around you. Okay. And like have an attitude of gratitude and play. Okay. Be more playful. So I think you can also, I want to say, with one of these things that are coming in, that's a blessing. I think it may also kind of level you up significantly. So we could be looking at like an increase with finances, or, work opportunities and things like this, because it feels like it's leading to long-term prosperity. So a bit of an ending here. It's almost like the end of your old world and moving into a new world. Quite possibly because you are wanting to change things. Okay. And wake up and get out of a rut. All right. So just know they're feeding all that for you. Tons and tons of love. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, family members. We're going to move on to another one. Diana, how many more? I'm still waiting on an answer to that. Abby Like Hicks says, oh my God, Ivy, you have no idea how clear and correct that reading was. Thank you so very much. You're welcome, Abby. Thank you. I'll have to go back and listen. Cheyenne X23, this is a second question. Says, does Jesus have a message for his mom? He was only 25 and she misses him so much. Okay, so Cheyenne, Jesus, do you have a message for mom? How many red roses are we going to get tonight? This is unbelievable. I've never. Okay. Like almost like what? Almost every other reading got a red rose. Give mom a red rose, which is a birthday or anniversary right around this time. This can also be a passing anniversary or just a deep love. He is coming through in 2 dreams. He said back to back. I don't know if he's actually going to pull that off. That's quite bold. That's hard to do, but he said 2 in a row, back to back. So, okay, I do wonder, you know what? I wonder if I came in a dream, she woke up, and then she goes back to sleep and it happens again, or we pick up where we left. That's even harder to pull off though. Either way, let her know. She's going to see him in a dream, and it's going to be 2 dreams, technically. Thank you for the hearts on TikTok. Back to back. And or part 1, part 2, take it out resonates. He's using birds with her, cardinals, blackbirds, and squirrels, chipmunks, and cats, and lizards. I don't know if she lives like somewhere tropical. How the heck you get lizards? And something about the ear itching. Usually it's the ear ringing, but if her ears have been like itching or vibrating, or ringing, he's increasing the clairaudience with her. So he's been working on this really hard. He's pretty good at it. I mean, I'm just listening to him now. That's how, granted, he uses a lot of symbology, but he's evolving into clairaudience. The goal is always to get to clairaudience. So she can hear him in her head as though it is her own inner voice. She can hear him when she's dozing off or waking up. She heard him recently. She hears his voice when she's dozing off and waking up. She hears me. She hears me at night. 3 to 5:30 in the morning, the haunting hour, right? Mediumship. She may see him there. Something about his picture. He said, I'm moving my pictures. It's like if I go in the living room, there's like something in the middle and just slightly like lower and to the right. It's like I'm shifting this. My picture's this way. My picture's this way. My picture's tipped. He's moving his things. I don't know if she has a ring of his or some type of jewelry of his, but or a keychain. What is this, metal? Or I feel like she has some things of his. She may hold them. She may try to stop. She may have tried to stop. Like, I can't keep doing this, like pulling away a little bit. That's okay. He said, that's okay. I love you, Mom. Okay. I love you. I'm always with you. And it's like if she holds something of his, I was talking about this earlier in the left hand, psychometry, right? It's a direct, she can hear him in her head. She has clairaudience. It's him that's having to learn it a little bit. But we have a pairing there. Numbers, birth dates, death dates, something about the number patterns and ladybugs. He's a little all over the place. Dolphins. Okay. Numbers of birth dates, death dates, matching up, lucky numbers, my death date, my birth date, lucky numbers, my age when I passed, lucky numbers, patterns in the numbers, numbers on the clock, numbers on the license plate, numbers on a billboard, number on that guy's jersey. And I don't know if she just had a glass of wine or if she's drinking, just like have a glass of wine. It's like a glass of red wine. Okay. Kick back and relax. He just wants her to know that he loves her. Okay. And that she was the best mom. She was the best mom. Okay. And fun and silly. And he wants her to stay silly. Okay. He said he's in a good place. And when it's finally her turn, when it's finally her time, he'll be the first one there. Okay. Front and center. And he said, you know it. She may also see him. Just tell her she may see him like, I don't know if it's on the same night as these dreams I saw back to back, but it's like, I'm seeing him in my room. Like I'm seeing him at the bottom of my bed, like over here, like slightly to the right, like a full body apparition. Like she could see him. Okay. So he's undeniably in the house. You'd have to be blind not to see him. Right. It's real. Wild. Thank you very much. I don't know too if there's a dog name after him or if somebody names somebody after him, a kid in the family. It's like what's my middle name? What's my nickname? What's my name naming after him? His name is passing on. He loves this. Thank you. And do we have any more coming in? Thank you so much, both of you. Janet from TikTok said, it always surprises me to know who comes in. I never got to meet my grandparents from my dad's side. Wow. So yeah, we can have, karmic debt. I don't remember your reading, so I don't remember if it felt a little bit like, maybe you're going through a growth phase or healing phase. But when they have karmic debt to you, whether you were close to them or not, they will typically come through when they're helping you with that area. And it's usually because they have some responsibility for something you're struggling with. Okay. They pass that down through the family. So yes, they love you. And it's an opportunity to connect with you more, but it can also be a little bit of karmic debt. So I would guess your reading went something like that. I don't remember. But there are patterns. There is a science to this for sure. And Cheyenne X23 said he has his name. Who has his name? Oh, your son. Beautiful. So just know he's acknowledging that. He loves that. He takes a lot of pride in that. A lot of pride. They're similar too. It's funny. Okay, we are at time. Thank you so much, everybody. If you want a private reading, everything I do is psychic mediumship, one way or another, really. Okay, so you could book a psychic mediumship reading on my website. We also do money, love, past life, right, career, all kinds of things, medical intuitive, and Reiki for healing if you need that. So go check it out. Pet readings as well. And that's going to be Ivy Rivera, psychicmedium.com. I do work internationally. And our next show that can't be the next one, is it? We have Monday. So we have our mini class on Monday, which is actually interesting. Let me plug that real quick before we go. So on Monday, if you want to become a YouTube member, you would go onto YouTube at Ask Ivy the Medium, hit the join button. Okay. But on Monday, we're doing our monthly mini class, and all 3 levels, all 3 tiers get to join. So even if you're paying like, I don't know, $5 to be a fan member or whatever, you get the monthly mini class. It's called Thriving, or it's like Surviving a Man's World, but it's how to thrive in a man's world, tips for women and men. To combat things like the constant destruction that's going on for all of us, but especially against women. And if you feel like you're just drowning and suffocating with that boot on your neck, we are going to cover the key ways you can survive it and thrive in it, because it's not going anywhere just yet. Okay, so you guys may want to tune in for that. And then we have on... Yeah, you're going to be there, Mama. And then we have on Wednesday, my Dear Ivy free advice show, play off of Dear Abby, the famous columnist. So it's free advice. It's not a psychic mediumship show, but any kind of question you guys may want to ask. I love giving free advice. It's a ton of fun. It's my favorite show that we do. So you can get your early questions in now. Please don't scratch me. I love you. And then we have What Blessings Are Coming Your Way, your all-time favorite show. This one is just, you guys have blown this out of the water, and I so appreciate you. So What Blessings Are Coming Your Way is going to be on Thursday, where I tell you what blessing is coming in and when. Thank you so much, Diana. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you, Spirit. You guys have a great night. I will see you soon.